Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a 737 pilot and a member of PMDG's tech team. So, it's this time of the year again, update time. I should rather say this time of the month, since PMDG is actually releasing, or aiming to release, 2 updates every month. So, today it's time again. Let's quickly go over the changelog and have a look at the update itself. The update is available for you through the PMDG Operations Center, or if you like to, by downloading the latest installer from your shop account, including a reinstallation. If you download through the Operations Center, then no reinstallation is needed and you can keep all your settings, etc. So, the complete panel state is posted in PMDG's forum. I'm going to link the announcement topic in the video description below. But let's go over the points that I find to be the most important in this update. So, all of you have surely seen my hydraulic failure video, where in the end the landing turned out quite funny because the simulator did not recognize the landing gear as being down, despite it being down in the visual model and inside the PMDG logic. That's been fixed. The main gear is now extended, even Flight Simulator internally, after the manual gear extension. The seatbelt sound chime has been added during aircraft power-up from cold to dark, and hydraulic system B has been providing inadequate pressure to the rudder actuators. That is fixed now. Also, one that's just recently been found by you guys on the customer forums is that the electric motor-driven hydraulic pumps 1 and 2 control switches were wired to the incorrect buses. If you have a close look at the hydraulic panel on the overhead, you will notice that you actually have the pump, or the electric motor driven pump, for number 2 on the left hand side and number 1 on the right hand side. That got mixed up previously, but is fixed now. The alternate landing gear extension has been modified to take advantage of Microsoft Flight Simulator's independent gear operation now. The window handle on the first officer's side had the wrong style. That is fixed as well. And your GPWS inner light should be on with the IRSs off now. Then, also one from the forums that I found particularly interesting is that a couple of not needed files have been removed from the data and dynamics folder, because a user on the forum actually spotted a file over there which was referring to a 737-800 flight dynamics. So the user set up a huge conspiracy theory that PMDG would be using the 800 flight dynamics for everything, and overall the plane you were getting was not even a 737, but was an Airbus A390 instead. You get the idea. Anyway, those non-needed files have been removed now. In fact, they haven't done anything previously, they were just a leftover from some development. The aileron trim switches have been slightly realigned in their position, and they are slightly offset now and not standard. The standby artificial horizon knobs had low resolution and have been improved now. Now, going on to the navigation display, there used to be a green line in the terrain display with the water option switched on. That's been fixed. And terrain description on navigation display had some ghosts showing when you were moving and turning, and that's been fixed as well. Also, maybe interesting for a couple of you, there used to be a memory leak when the navigation display with the terrain display were shown on the lower display unit. So the one where normally you have the secondary engine indications or the hydraulic indications on. That's been fixed as well. And the cockpit freeze, when increasing the navigation display map range to 640, have the terrain data on and the sweep option turned off, has been fixed. Then there used to be a problem with the Boeing business jet where the nose-wheel steering did not animate with Xbox controllers, and that is fixed as well. And some of the overhead switches have been upgraded in their texturing to include some high-definition texturing. The back course approach mode was not working properly, is fixed now. And here's an interesting one. The use last oil option for the engines, even when enabled, did not really save its previous oil states. So For those of you who don't know where that option is, you can find it under PMDG options, so not aircraft options, but general options, and I think it's on the first page over there. And that is an option that, if turned on, is going to save the engine oil state and reload that one for the next flight. Now, by default, you have 18 liters of oil in the engine, or 18 quarts is basically a liter, so I'll say liters because it's easier. So by default, you have 18 liters in there, and the minimum required for dispatch is 12. If you let this fall too low, also you wouldn't want to dispatch with 12 quarts for a long-haul flight in the BBJ, but that's just say. But if you have too little oil in there, then your engine might actually start to fail. So if you're using that option, have a closer look at the oil quantity in your pre-flight now, because now it is finally saving correctly. The speed brake handle textures were still a little bit blurry, fixed now. And there also used to be a problem with the flight attendant call switch on the center of the overhead not being animated. That's fixed as well. And finally, here's a great one. A new airline option has been added, including the new style pressurization panel. Do have a look at that. You can find it on page 15 of the airline equipment options. And that new panel is actually fitted to a lot of 737 aircraft, but I'm going to do a separate video showing you that panel and the differences to the old one. So stay tuned for that. For now, these are the major changes that we can find in the new update that's just been released. It's build number 29 for the 737. Now, I'm not going to give you any estimates as to how close the actual 600 release is then, because that is of course going to come with another update, most importantly including the new LNAV model, but that is for another day. For now, thank you very much if you liked this video. If you really did, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link that you can find in the video description below. Also, you can find an invitation link for my Discord channel in there. For now, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon, either in the virtual skies or maybe on the Discord. And I'm wishing all of you a great remainder of the weekend, enjoying the new 737 update.